We are joined by Xavier Taylor from the Eastern Rangers, wears the number 22, coming fresh off a grand final and a BOG performance. Welcome, Xavier, and congratulations on the grand final win. Super effort.
No, thanks. It was a good couple of days, and thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
That was a good season, really, more than just a couple of days. I guess firstly as well, to those watching, Xavier's actually also a mad Tiger fan as well, so make sure we definitely show him some love. Loves the Tigers. Talk us through the season with the Rangers and making it through to the grand final. Like, how early on in the season did you, as a group or even as an individual, realise that you're the real deal and you're a chance to go the whole way? Because it just seems like a really special side with the way you play and the way you all just got the job done in such an efficient manner.
Definitely a big Tigers fan before, but kind of realised a bit early on that we had a bit of a special group, like playing even interleague with like more than half the boys, and we were all super connected, and kind of at the start of the season, even pre-season, just kind of set that out to be the goal. That as much as individually we wanted to perform and like have kids drafted, but we wanted to also like just get that final end goal, which we got, which was good, and it was awesome.
One thing I've always wanted to know, like obviously when you're playing at coach level, it must be really interesting to find the balance between team and individual game, because I mean, ultimately all of you guys and girls are playing to get drafted, right? That is the end game, but you do want to have that team success along the way. So I suppose, how do you cope with it, or how do the coaches direct you on? I'm guessing the message is always team first, team first. And I guess in some way, if you do team first, everything else falls into place.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like definitely, like it's a league to get drafted, and like that's majority of people's goals. But like always, coaches and like LJ, Danny, backline coach, my backline coach is always team first. And when everyone's playing as a team, like you're playing your best footy, and that's what I've felt at least. When I'm up and going and playing team footy, I just thrive on that as well. So I think everyone kind of went on that, and yeah, it showed. I think that we're just a team in the end, and that's why we got the win.
Before I throw you over to Dill, your grand final, 25 disposals, 15 marks, dominant display, best on ground. You were just in the zone, just marking everything. How does it feel being out on the ground when you're just in that type of zone, in that hot streak, and everything you touch is sort of turning to gold, essentially?
It was just a bit of a lucky day, I think. I think it's like teammates as well help with that. Just knowing that I've got we're a very tight back six, like very tight team. But at my back six, just knowing that I could come off my man when I needed to, and they'd cover me, and just that sort of stuff. Just like having my teammates trust to be able to do that sort of stuff, and the coaches trusting me to be able to play my game, and yeah, it was just a good day.
I was just going to come in, Zabe, and ask you about your leadership. It's something that I've noticed watching you across the season. I guess amongst this draft crop, for me earlier in the season, you weren't one that was right there on everybody's lips. So you've sort of grown into the season a little bit, and your stature's kind of gone up into that top 10. But I think one of your standout traits is that leadership. Is that something that you've kind of always had in your football, or is it something that sort of, I don't know, you've grown into in maybe the last 12 months as you've sort of got confidence as a player and you've grown into your body and stuff like that?
Definitely. I think a bit of both. Always kind of had it, and always thrived on it and tried to bring it into my game. Something that I value a lot, and I think it's important. But I think it's if you watch from round one to the grand final, I think I just built in confidence every game and kind of showed on the ground and that sort of stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, it sort of felt like across that whole Eastern Rangers team, there's a lot of you that really started to peak towards the end of the season. Yourself, you got Sullivan Roby, Lockie Doveston as well, but there were a number of others where everybody just seemed to get better and better as the season went on. Do you think that was sort of down to that connectivity that you had?
Yeah, 100%. You could name 10 other blokes, but we're just so connected, and we just really worked every week to get into that end goal, and put the work in, and it happened. So.
And what about where was the beginning of your football journey? Obviously playing for Eastern Rangers now, but are you able to take us back a little bit? Where did you play your junior football? Position-wise, were you always a defender? How did your footy sort of evolve to then get recognised to get into the Eastern program?
I started my footy journey at East Ringwood Juniors. Mum and Dad both played there, and I played all my juniors there, and I love it. It's pretty important to me. East Ringwood, and I'm always down there whenever I can. I haven't played there for a couple of years, but I enjoy getting down there all the time. And I started as a defender because Dad was a defender, and then I grew pretty early during just before those COVID years, and then I kind of got thrown in like full forward, ruck, bit of mid, just a bit everywhere, which has been, I think, important as well to kind of adapt to different positions and that versatility as well. But then getting into the interlegs and that kind of went down back again and just been stuck there ever since. So.
What do you see yourself as long term, Zave? Because you said there you've sort of always been a defender, but I suppose looking at your height and stuff like that, you're slightly undersized as like a key position defender, but you stand out with some of your other traits. You're very offensive. You can run with the ball. Your agility was great at the combine. Do you sort of see maybe long term you could play some different positions, maybe, get up on a wing, play forward of the ball, but also even go into the midfield at some point with your athleticism?
100%. I asked LJ a few times this year to throw me up the ground a bit, and it didn't really happen, unfortunately. But definitely feel like I could, with a bit of training and that sort of stuff, could definitely get higher up the ground. Use my athleticism and power through the midfield would be awesome at some point in my career.
If there was one thing that was holding you back from doing that, what would it be? Would it be sort of endurance and stuff like that, or would it be more just the craft of playing on ball, knowing where to be, and those sorts of things?
Definitely. Like, you got to have a big tank, and I feel like we could probably do it with a bit of training, with the craft as well, but a bit of confidence as well. Like I said before, I think from my first game to my last game, you could tell I was starting to take it on a bit more every game, and I think it's only going to go up from this year, and like next year will be even better, and then next year, etc.
You mentioned the raft of positions you play as a junior. I know you've sort of been pigeonholed in defence ever since, but was there one that you enjoyed more than the other along your journey?
I love playing mid at local, kind of just roaming around and doing what you wanted a little bit.
Hint, for anyone watching, hint, he loves playing mid.
Love playing mid. I was happy anywhere, wherever Dad wanted to throw me when he was coaching me. And, forward. The only position I really have never played is the wing, so wouldn't mind getting thrown on the wing for a bit. It would be good to learn and play.
I can actually imagine you as a winger, mate, just roaming, taking marks, pushing back. Be great, I reckon.
Trainer this year.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's funny because that's where all supporters are kind of viewing that you could play as a secondary role. So it's interesting to hear that that's the actual position you haven't actually played yet. I'm with you, Jill, with the intercept marking and the offensive traits. I can definitely see a wing spot happening.
What player, Zave, would you say that I've got to see a few questions coming through in the comments here about sort of players that you model your game off, someone that you think you're similar to, or just maybe someone that you just sort of idolise in the AFL currently?
Like I said before, massive Tigers fan, so I'm always watching Tigers games and love Floston. Like, I think everyone knows like how good he is as a defender, and he's intercepting that. I just love how his competitiveness and how tough he is at the footy, and he hates losing one-on-ones, and it's something I try to throw myself on as well. So, yeah. Do
you think he deserves to be an All-Australian? That's a loaded question.
Could talk about that for hours, but 100%. 100%.
Pretty much along with every other Richmond fan, I reckon.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly right. So you obviously had the sometimes not so fun task playing on some of the best forwards in the coach league, both tall and small. I think that's been the beauty of the way you play. You can take on the smaller guys as well, which not a lot of defenders can do. Who are some of the tougher forwards you had to come up against this year at coach level?
There's a few at coach level that are pretty hard. Like I played on Floyd Burmeister, I think maybe 2 or 3 times over the 2 years I played Eastern, and he's a super tough opponent. Like, great athlete, big bodied as well, can get up the ground as well. So he kind of does a bit of everything, which is a bit hard to kind of combat. There's definitely a few that I can't think of, but he was probably one of the main ones that caused me a bit of trouble.
Do you prefer to play on someone that's you've got a height advantage on and you can sort of get them aerially, or would you prefer to play on someone that is a bit more athletic and you can sort of run with them and beat them maybe physically? Do you have sort of a preference there? And maybe even you prefer to play on like a bigger body and you can sort of get them athletically as well?
Not too phased. I've kind of find it a bit easier playing on the bigger, dopier forwards. Can kind of use my athleticism to go with them in the air, and once it gets to the ground, it's easy picking. So yeah.
Has that been something that you've had to develop and learn about in terms of when to be really offensive and setting up plays, or was it something that came to you naturally? Was it coached into you? Because it's a really important part of the game for defenders now to be able to flick that switch and start driving attacks, which you do so well.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's like I've worked on it a lot, and like from even my bottom age year, I was just that lockdown defender, and I'd win the ball, and that's all I could do. But now I can kind of win it and start the offense off my own boot, which is something I've like done a lot of work on, and I'm not fully there yet. But yeah, I've done a lot of training with it, and some of it's natural. But yeah, done a lot of work on it, and still got a fair way to go with it though.
I wanted to ask you, mate, about the national championships. You got to play with some of the best players from in the Vic Metro area there, obviously. Who were some of the guys that you sort of really enjoyed playing with there, whether it was someone in the back half of the ground that you sort of with, or even someone that you played against at the champs, just that sort of experience that you got to have playing against the best players in the country?
Yeah, I love that. The 2 years, the 4 games we got to play and 3 travelling. Yeah, it was a great experience and great bunch of boys, and got pretty close with probably Kai Fincher and Max Kondagianis, playing in the back line with those two. And yeah, they were great for me, and learned some stuff off them. And yeah, they were great for me, and 2 great kids as well. So
love that.
Does much change when you go through the national champs? Is it like, I'm just trying to imagine that first meeting point where everyone meets up, and you would all have a vague idea of who each other are, but is there a lot of sort of pre-meetings and meeting and bonding sessions and things like that before you get stuck into the training and the games?
There's a little bit of it. I was pretty lucky enough to play 16s with the majority of the boys, and but like this year, you do your 2 trials and then you're into trainings. I think we only had 1 or 2 trainings before our first game, so it's kind of hard to, get the best kids from each team to kind of come together and play as a team, and can be difficult at times. But I think we got along pretty well by the end of it, and it was a great experience.
And you got to come up against that South Australian team that were, probably surprised everyone. Going into that champs, did you expect them to do what they did, or did it surprise you as much as it sort of surprised everyone from the outside? Yeah, a bit of both. A bit surprising, and I just don't think we showed up on the day as well, which didn't help. But yeah, them beating Allies the week before, which I think some people kind of penciled as the favourites, and yeah, they beat them and then beat us and just made a statement early, and yeah, wasn't a great day for us, but yeah, we moved on and got two more wins after that. So.
A good question from Ricardo. What are the benefits of being in a coach league program? I guess from a professionalism standpoint versus playing just your local level football, what kind of extra things happen behind the scenes that people may not know about at coach league to help get you prepared for this next step?
Yeah, like there's obviously a massive jump in the professionalism of it, and like the training standards, and like we're training 3 times a week compared to your local, which would normally be 1 or 2 times a week, and doing those extra like meetings and stuff, which you don't do at local, and the vision side of it as well, and the high performance stuff, the gym stuff as well, the nutrition and recovery side of it, which is awesome to learn and get a bit of a taste hopefully going into AFL next year. It'll just ramp up even more, but just that stepping stone into next year. So
does that go to another level too when you do hit the champs and you're in that sort of hub and that program? Do they get you doing different stuff, or is it less contact just because you're with each other for such a short period of time?
No, I think I felt like, me personally, the training standard ramped up when we got to Metro. LJ, who coached Eastern and Metro as well, was pretty big on, we only get to come together once a week, so let's make the most of it. And yeah, we really trained hard when we were with each other and made the most of it.
How much is that sort of dictated to you, and how much do the players, I guess some of the guys that have a really high work ethic, how much do they sort of bring that when you get to Metro? There's obviously a lot of really professional guys there at that point. Do they sort of, I don't know, take the reins a little bit as well, or is it's sort of pretty much you only get to train for a certain amount of time and you can't go too much longer, or do some guys sort of go longer and go a little bit harder?
I think, there's obviously some kids that are going to put the work in a bit more, but I think everyone's like pretty switched on and, wanting to like not only do their best, but do their best for the team as well. So I think like from just a Metro point of view, can't talk on the other teams, but like we're all pretty dialed in and all getting there early to do the extras and even little stuff like packing up and that after training, which was good to see and it was good.
And the draft combine recently, which is always is it a daunting experience? I guess the combine, or is it the first time you've done a series of tests like that, or have you had exposure to that before?
We do the similar tests at the start of the year at the coach testing day, except for the 2K, which no one likes, and that was pretty daunting. The 2K, the walk to the track wasn't great. But the meetings with clubs were. I was pretty lucky. I didn't get any overly weird questions. I was pretty lucky actually. But the meetings are like pretty good experience. Meeting some coaches and that sort of stuff, Sykes and that is really cool. And like even meeting some of the other interstate boys is a good experience as well. Considering I didn't make like the academy or the futures game or anything, so kind of the first experience time I've got to meet them and so you get out of those type of boys. So it was good.
Just on that academy one, Xavier, was that something that at the time you were sort of disappointed on not getting a call up for, or it wasn't something that you expected at the time? I sort of, following your trajectory along the season, I feel like you're a player that's probably gained momentum as the season's gone on. I just wanted to sort of hear it from you, like your expectations, whether you thought you were sort of in that mix at the time.
Probably at the time I was a bit disappointed. I didn't make that grand final day game, and I kind of knew you'd get picked from the for the academy off that game, and I was a bit disappointed. But kind of looking back now, it's probably the best thing that happened because I don't think I was I don't think I probably deserved it, and probably gave me a bit of drive to kind of work a bit harder. And it's not at the end of the world. And you look at me now, and you look at people like Sally, who don't even make Metro, and they're like in the top 10 contention now. So I held me in good stead, I think. So yeah.
You mentioned about not getting any curly questions from the clubs, which is a good thing because we have read some comments of some real interesting questions. But did the clubs have all different interview styles? Birdman just popped through a question, or were the interview styles like by and large the same?
Yeah, some of them are pretty similar. They all have different questions and stuff to try to throw you off and that sort of stuff, but most are the same. There's a few that did it differently. There's a couple clubs that kind of want you to do more of the talking and take the lead and that sort of stuff. But for me, I was pretty lucky, and it was mostly just them asking me questions and that sort of stuff. Pretty cruisy stuff.
What would you say is your point of difference as a player? As Dill said, your season's progressed really, really well, and I feel like now at the pointy end of it all, you're really right up there in contention in the top echelon. What do you think your point of difference is as a player?
I like to think I'm like one of the best competitors in the draft pool without trying to sound like a dick. Like just I hate losing one-on-ones, that sort of stuff, and just like really competitive and just hate losing.
Can't go on with that. We've got a question here. You go.
Sorry, I was going to cut in there with that. You kind of mentioned not wanting to lose one-on-ones. Is that sort of, you definitely see yourself as that being the fundamentals of your game more so than the offensive part of being a defender?
What was that? Sorry, kind of cut out.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to ask that you mentioned you hated losing one-on-ones. Do you see that as sort of the main part of your game and not so much the offensive part of being a defender? You sort of pride yourself on the lockdown part of your game.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think like at the end of the day, no matter if you're a fullback, halfback, running back, whatever you are, you're still a backman, and like your main goal is to stop forwards from kicking goals and win your one-on-ones, and that's what I go out. I don't go out before a game saying I hope I get 6 intercept marks and that sort of stuff, because if you get that, but your forward kicks 2 goals, like it's kind of null and void. So just go out there trying to beat my forward and let everything else come with that. So.
At the risk of not wanting to turn this into a Richmond-centric segment, Grock mentioned that, you played alongside Josh Meyer last year, which I hadn't even crossed my mind. What was that like playing alongside Josh? And do the players that you've played with previously who have been since drafted, do they still keep in touch and sort of help guide you through any of these, I suppose, next few weeks in the lead up to the draft? Have they got any words of advice at all or anything?
Yeah, no, playing with Josh last year was grouse. He's a super professional kid, and like the way he went about his footy last year and just led by example was like awesome, and kind of took me in under his wing a bit. We went to gym together that whole year, and he was grouse for me, and still talk to him a little bit, and just gives me a bit of insight. And yeah, he loves it. He's loving his footy at the moment, and hoping for a big year this year, next year.
I did have someone else ask, what were your memories or thoughts on the 2017 grand final, given that we were waiting for a long time? Were you there for that one? Did you get along to the grand final?
Sadly, didn't get any tickets to that game. Dad and me uncle went, and me nan, and me and all the cousins and mum and all uncles and aunties that didn't get to go were at Punt Road, and yeah, that was one of the best days of my life. And
that looked like an epic vibe, though. Punt Road,
so.
that looked unbelievable. That was jam packed. That was pumping.
Yeah, it was. I remember it so clearly. It was awesome day, but the thing was, it was the delay on the TV was like a couple seconds behind. So if we were lined up for a goal or something and we kicked it, we could hear everyone at the G celebrating before it happened, so we'd know if it was a goal or not, which was a bit funny. But yeah,
that'd actually get quite annoying over the course of 4 quarters when you're trying to enjoy the game, I reckon. That'd be very
100%. But it was good. Loved it.
That's all right. Max wants to know what motivates, drives you as a young footballer.
Without going back to the Richmond thing all the time, I used to go to the footy with me nan and all my cousins and me pop as well, and dad and mum and brothers and sisters, and like it was just a big part of my life growing up, and like going and watching the Alex Rances, your Koch and Dusty, and just really admired it, and it was always a dream of mine. And yeah, just wanted to go out there one day and whatever club it is, hopefully it's the Tigers. If not, just going out there and playing AFL has always been my dream.
No, that's awesome, mate. Did you have any other ones still?
I think we covered most of the questions that I had, yeah.
All right, well, that's the footy stuff done. Now it's time for the hard-hitting stuff to get to know you as a person. Just some rapid-fire questions. No, they're not too difficult. Does pineapple belong on a pizza?
Not to me, no.
Fair enough. Chocolate, do you keep it in the fridge or the cupboard?
Cupboard.
Yeah, that's a better answer. Yeah, that's Sullivan Roby earlier on said fridge, and Dylan and I were a little bit confused by that answer.
That's absolutely mental, I reckon.
Yeah, not sure what he's doing there. Yeah. If you weren't playing footy, what sport would you be playing?
Basketball. I was a big basketball growing up, and love me basketball still. So yeah.
You follow the NBA?
Not too much. Yeah, not really. Just go for Bulls because Dad grew up loving Michael Jordan, so just kind of go for them, but don't watch it too closely. But yeah,
fair enough. Is it chicken parma or? Yeah, well, I will hear that Scott Pendlebury-esque for years to come. Is it chicken parma or chicken palmy?
I'll say Parma.
Yeah, good answer. Instagram or TikTok?
Probably TikTok. Probably spend too much time on TikTok.
What's your favourite food?
Love a good pizza, wood-fired pizza.
Oh, yeah, good call there, wood-fired pizza. Do you have a favourite band or song?
Favorite song, probably "My Happiness" by Powderfinger. Favorite song of all time.
Nice. Do you have a hidden talent? I've seen Sam Lawler break out some tunes singing and on guitar. Are you that way inclined?
No, sadly not. It'd be nice to be able to break out break out into song. But no, I can't sing or anything like that. Hidden talents, not that I can think of. Nah, I'm just a footy player, sadly.
No, nothing wrong with that. Do you have a favourite board game?
Chess. Do love playing chess. Play on my phone all the time, online.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
When you watch a TV show, is it one at a time or do you binge?
I binge it all the time. So, yeah, I'll watch a whole TV series in the week, I reckon.
Any good suggestions that are out recently?
I'm watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine again, probably for the 6th time, I reckon. But yeah, that's me go-to, and I reckon I've watched it about 5 or 6 times. So yeah, that's what I'm on at the moment.
Very nice. And the final one, if you're at a swimming pool, do you cannonball into the pool or do you dip your toe in first?
Cannonball for sure.
Yeah, it feels like there's only one correct answer there, and that's the cannonball. But
yeah, I don't think anyone's saying dip their toe in.
No, well, I think I probably fall into that category, unfortunately. But the cannonball is meant to be the correct answer. You just get over and done with, and just make a mess and get on with it. But
just get it.
See if anyone's got any questions. Oh, we had one more question come through from Ricardo. In a growing body, what's the balance of team training and playing versus weights, like extra weights and running out of hours and recovery? Do you have to do much outside of the 4 walls of the club?
In season, not too much gym stuff. Just it's a longer season than like what I'm used to at local. I think I played over 20 odd games this year, so it was a longer season. So in season, not like just doing stuff to maintain my body in gym. Not really put too much more muscle on, and a lot of recovery, a lot of saunas, ice baths, that sort of stuff.
Very nice. Well, Xavier Taylor, thank you so much for jumping on tonight, mate. Really appreciate your time, especially in the lead up to the draft. We wish you all the best. You're super talented, and you should be really proud of your efforts and everything you've done so far. And no doubt we'll be hearing your name relatively early on draft nights, hopefully selfishly in the yellow and black. But I know you'll be happy to play anywhere, and it's going to be living out a dream, which is such a good thing.
100% happy wherever, but be nice to get to the Tigs for sure.
That's it. Well, enjoy draft night, mates, and we look forward to seeing you out there running around playing AFL in 2026.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
No worries. Have a good night. Thank you.